7 astronauts died in the most horrific way possible, and it all happened while their families and the whole of the United States had their eyes on this important space event.
I thought the flight was going fine, and then I heard them say major malfunction, and then the person beside me said it's exploded, and it was... I couldn't speak.
And here comes the flight crew now. Commander Dick Scobie, followed by Mission Specialist Judy Resnick.
The catastrophe brought the whole country to a complete standstill. Ronald Reagan had no words to describe the terrible moment, but in his role as president, he had to come forward.
We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them, this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye, and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
Family and friends were devastated by the tragedy. No one expected the flight that would take the first civilian astronaut into space would end up as one of the most terrible accidents in history.
Well, it's very difficult for me to talk about it because these were my friends.
The theory was that the crew members were killed by the explosion, but 30 years later, it was discovered that this hadn't been the case, but that their lives had ended in an even worse way. The blazing fire that covered them completely didn't take them away. A fall of more than 330 kilometers per hour straight into the sea did. That would ultimately be the reason for the crew members' deaths. This was all revealed in The Burning Blue, the untold story of Christa McAuliffe and the NASA Challenger, a book about the woman who would become the first civilian to reach space.
When that shuttle goes, there might be one body. But there's going to be 10 souls that I'm taking with me. Thank you.
That's great.
The teacher had become a celebrity, so much so that even her parents and husband had been contacted for television interviews.
You all gonna be at the Cape?
Naturally, we wouldn't miss it.
Yes, the whole family will be there. We have 4 other children besides Krista, so everybody will be there.
I think everybody who knows her, I think, honestly thought that, you know, there may have been candidates who were certainly her equal, but that there was nobody that would be superior to her, and we all felt that way. So we all felt that she had a really, really good chance. But obviously you can't say you knew she was going to win, or you knew she was going to be selected.
The 7 people who were on the ship were Francis Scobie, Michael Smith, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Judith Resnick, Gregory Jarvis, and Christa McAuliffe, and fate would bring them to a horrible death. Even though they were prepared for certain kinds of emergencies, an explosion while taking to the skies plus a fall at over 330 kilometers per hour would be more than enough to end their lives.
These searches have not revealed any evidence that the crew of Challenger survived.
The Challenger flew for only 73 seconds. The explanation for the whole tragedy? The rocket booster was leaking fuel, and from the ground, from the control center, they noticed that there was a drop in pressure. All of that would lead to the shuttle finally exploding as it did.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction. We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded.
The tragedy forever scarred the entire United States, but it didn't make them give up on their space program.
I know it's hard to understand, but sometimes painful things like this happen. It's all part of the process of exploration and discovery. It's all part of taking a chance and expanding man's horizons.